yes. Well, last but not least, another one. I never share, who else is there? Silvana, this one. I've never shared apartment with her. She'd be the flatmate of her. Is it correct or not?
I have.
The flatmate.
I've just have that right, but I have no idea. Have you been talking about the idioms?
Idioms, yes. That's the introduction.
Ah, okay. I do never share apartment with
But
her.
you were not at the beginning. You know, you were not at the beginning.
No, no, no.
And that's it.
No.
Okay. Angeles?
I've just started 5 minutes ago.
Okay. Angeles, is it correct?
No, it's wrong. It's a neighbor from hell or flatmate from hell.
It's from
hell
and not of her. So she's the flatmate of from her, and the neighbor from her, and the friend from her and not of her. Y que habíamos dicho, Silvana, que la traducción era de miércoles o de lo que fuera, de porquerías.
Okay, del demonio, right.
Demonio, from her. Okay, Laura. Okay. Stella McCartney is often called the first lady of fashion. That's the idiom, the first lady of. Is it correct?
I think it was correct, but I'm not. I'm a little bit lost.
It is correct.
With idioms because
then I will send you the PPT. Yes, it is correct, and then I will send you the PPT. And last one.
Okay, I think
it is correct. Okay, because sometimes it's not correct because there's slight change, but that's correct.
Yes.
Last one.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Rani loves that painter's work, but it doesn't float my boat. It doesn't float my boat. Tatiana?
I think it is correct.
Okay, it doesn't float my boat. Remember the boat trying to float. Okay. Now we are going to start our class classroom analysis. The first thing I'm going to do is to analyze what we have inside our classroom. Can you see some bits of the classroom, the campus virtual?
Yes.
Okay. So you are going to see, okay. Unit 3, Cedaw Convention and Protocol. Yes, that's what has been opened this week. So if you click on that, you are going to have the full text convention Cedaw, the Cedaw Convention. The Cedaw Convention is an international convention related to the rights of women. And another document which is called Cedaw Features. Some features that are described there, analyzed by the teachers, by us there. And this year, I have introduced the ILO Convention, la Convención de OIT, ILO Convention number 190, which is related to harassment at work, sexual harassment and just harassment, all types of harassment. And it relates to women, of course, women and men, not only women. Well, you have these 3 documents, and then you have 12 different documents there. This one is the book that we have prepared the first year with the students, just for you to get to know Argentina and the enforcement of the Cedaw Convention. And let's see, no, so it's not our document. Let's see. Okay, that's a Word document. I thought that it was the book, but not. So that's an abstract. Okay. I think that it's the work of one of the students from the first year. Okay, that's one document. And what else? Let's see. again. I have lost the classroom. Sorry. There. Okay. The text analysis that you have to download and read at least. And then we're going to study this aspect during this lesson. This is the text analysis, and you are going to see this, but we are going to talk about this today. Okay, you know that I'm trying to save time for you by talking about what to do inside the classroom in this lesson. The protocol, this is a content exercise. Let's see, with some theory, because you have the Cedaw Convention and some protocols. In fact, the protocols are part of the convention. It's another convention that is attached to the other convention. Cedaw protocol, Cedaw optional protocol, and that's the definition of the protocol. And then, so some theory related to the protocol. Then you have Cedaw features, child marriage, some theory related to child marriage, and discrimination in the workplace, and okay. Then you have 3 sites. Let's see where is there. There. 3 sites. Particularly, I'm interested in these 3 sites. Cedaw quick and concise, because there are 3 videos on YouTube, and we are going to study that because we have a listening activity with these 3 videos. These are the 3 videos. Quick and concise Cedaw, with principle of state obligation, substantive equality, and non-discrimination. And then other types of sites, because you have some law, some acts from Argentina, and for instance, la Ley de Protección Integral de la Mujer, la Ley de Niñas y Adolescentes, la Ley de Aprobación de la Cedaw en Argentina, y esta que está solo en español, no hay en inglés, que se llama la Convención de Belén do Pará, which is another type of convention related to the rights of women. La Convención de Belén do Pará, and it is quite in use by the judges because we have to apply the gender approach on our judgments with the Cedaw Convention and Convención de Belén do Pará. Okay. Then you have the document that I've sent you on the WhatsApp group. Me dice que no puede entrar, María. ¿Qué problema con el? Yo no sé qué problema hay con esto de que entrar y entrar. Alguien que lo haga entrar. Let's see. Sorry. Let's see. Why can't them entrar con I jurídico o entrar con... A ver si... Okay. So, have you got the document that I've sent you on the WhatsApp group, please? Yes? Have you got that?
Yes.
Okay.
About the videos?
Yes, related to the videos. Yes. These are the videos. The videos are part of the classroom. Yes, they are on the side part. And these are 3 videos. They are called as a series, Quick and Concise Cedaw, Cedaw Convention. One of them is explaining the principle of non-discrimination. The other one is the principle of substantive equality. And the third one is the principle of state obligation. Yes? Just in case, the document is this one. Fabricio, have you got the document or not?
Yes, I have it.
Okay, okay. Luis? Okay, excellent.
Very good. Very good.
Ángeles, Silvana, all of you.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with one of them. For instance, the principle of state obligation. I should read the instructions first. Let's see. Let's see. Listening. Okay. The first one is called explaining the principle of non-discrimination. So I have to read it because you have to read it in order to create the schemata on your minds, in order to try to guess what is going to follow during the listening activity. So the first one says, Marcela, would you like to read the first one, please?
Yeah. Countries that have signed the Cedaw Convention have been given the to respect, promote, and the rights of women in their respective countries.
More.
All right. Okay. 2, many countries practice law that directly against women and their children. 3, for example, fathers are allowed to their children. 4, indirect discrimination comes from neutral laws and policies which seems to give opportunities for men and women, but in practice, women are disadvantaged due to historical discrimination caused by the system.
Okay, so this is the principle of non-discrimination. Let's see. Which one is this? No. Non-discrimination, okay. Y tengo que poner por acá, acá, share sound. Ya me estoy avivando. Okay, let's see.
Cedaw, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, is an international human rights treaty that focuses on women's rights and women's issues worldwide. It follows the following 3 principles: substantive equality, non-discrimination, and state obligation. This video explains the principle of non-discrimination. Most countries around the world have signed the Cedaw Convention. This means that they have given their commitment to respect, protect, promote, and fulfill the rights of women in their respective countries. However, discrimination still exists in many countries, both directly and indirectly. Many countries practice nationality laws that directly discriminate against women and children. For example, fathers are allowed by law to transfer their citizenship to their children, but mothers cannot. Without citizenship, the child is excluded from healthcare, education, and other services offered to citizens. Indirect discrimination comes from gender-neutral laws and policies which seem to give equal opportunities and access to both men and women. But in practice, women are disadvantaged due to historical discrimination caused by the patriarchal system.
Sure.
For example, a newspaper company is hiring an editor and invites both men and women reporters to apply, on condition that the candidate must have served in all the different news desks before. But this indirectly disqualifies all the women reporters, as there is another policy that disallows women from serving on the crime desk due to the high risk involved. As a result, no women can apply for the job. Patriarchy is a social system in which the role of the male as the primary authority figure is central to social organization, and where fathers hold authority over women, children, and property. It implies the institution of male rule and privilege, and is dependent on female subordination. In the patriarchy system, male traits are more valued than female traits. For example, you will often hear boys and men being told not to be a girl. This happens because patriarchy views womanhood as weakness, and it is valued less compared to men. In many countries, women face obstacles due to cultural and religious practices. As a result of these beliefs and practices, women have suffered historical discrimination. For example, female genital mutilation, a practice where part of the female genitalia is cut or disfigured, has been defended as a religious responsibility or a traditional passage to womanhood. However, it has been proven that unlike male circumcision, female genital mutilation offers no benefits to the women and can cause medical complications and in some cases results in death. It is important to keep in mind that non-discrimination for women must exist in de jure and de facto. De jure means of law, and de facto means of fact, meaning what is actually happening in reality. For example, there is a fish farm project in the village of Loma. The policy states that it would provide equal opportunities to women and men to become farmers and better their livelihoods. All parts of training will be available to everybody, but one of the conditions states that applicants must have some farmland to work in. During implementation, no women participated. It is found that women do not own farmlands in the village, as inheritance laws were discriminatory and did not allow women to inherit property. The local culture also prohibits women to control or access family income or assets, including their husband's farms. A lot of laws and policies exist which is supposed to benefit women, but did not take into account the historical discrimination that prohibits women from enjoying those rights. Chances are such policies also exist in your country in a multiple of scenarios. This video covers the principle of non-discrimination, one of 3 Cedaw principles.
Okay. Was it too difficult, too long? What do you think? Oh.
Creating a video.
Okay. Stop sharing. Was it too difficult, too long? What do you think?
Quickly.
No, it was interesting, I think, because it's a quite controversial issue. So
Yes, yes. What about the jure and de facto aspect related to discrimination? What do you think, Fabricio?
I think that it was quite interesting, the example that they say in the video, because some days ago, I saw a video from Spain that they speak about certain circumstances about like also jure and facto, but the question was for people to come into the police force, and the women were complaining because they said that they were equal, but they should do like the same equal test as men.
Okay.
So in this situation, it was like a really big controversy between like, it should be like that, we are both equal, but in certain circumstances we are not, or we cannot be. And I believe that is like a really difficult topic to find like a balance between facto and jure.
Yes, yes, that's correct. What about you, Luis? What can you tell me in English or in Spanish? But you should unmute yourself with your microphone.
I'm sorry. I think the video is very interesting because it is talk about the problem of women, and it says about some laws that's important for protect the woman, no?
Okay, and the idea of equality and to be equal and to be the same. Sameness, igualdad, and equality, equidad. Equality, equity, equality. That's different because sometimes they say, well, women are equal to men, but you have to apply equity, not only equality. And sometimes equity involves to to balance, to make an effort to have all of them balanced, because there are some disadvantages that women can suffer. And that's debatable, as Fabrizio said, because sometimes they say, well, but you're equal. What are you discussing? Why? Law says, the law says. Yes, tell me.
May I add some other fun information that I learned living here in Switzerland?
Okay, tell us.
The women can vote just since 50 years ago, and Switzerland was one of the lastest country in the whole world to give vote to women. And in fact, nowadays, there is something that people still talking like a lot. It's like a really brand new on every website and every newspaper that women are allowed to vote. And yeah, it's really funny because everybody thinks like, okay, Switzerland maybe have talked about this topic like several years ago. And in fact, I've been told that during that time, because here in Switzerland, the population votes about like almost everything. And then the government needs to do or follow what the election said.
Yeah, okay.
And at that time, many women, like 50 years ago, many women also thought that they shouldn't vote.
Oh, they were.
So it was, yeah, they were against their own rights.
Conservative. They were against the advancement of women.
Yeah,
probably because of family, because the idea of family, you need to protect families, so you need to have women inside their homes, probably. Okay.
Yeah, women here are really independent, really independent. And nowadays Switzerland has like almost 65% of the people that works in the government or parliament are women.
Okay.
But just 50 years ago, women were allowed to vote.
So in the 70s, they had.
Yep.
50 years ago.
In the 70s.
Okay. Excellent. So we are more advanced than them.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay. Okay, so why don't we fill in the gaps, if we may? Let's see the gaps. I don't remember where I put them. Let's see. ¿Dónde los puse? Let's see out there. Okay. Countries that have signed the Cedaw Convention have been given the what? What do you think?
Commitment.
Commitment, yes. Yes, the commitment or the obligation or something like that. To respect, promote, and, I don't know, the rights of women. What do you think?
Protect.
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 Protect the rights of women in their respective countries. Many countries practice, no sé qué, law that directly...
Nationality.
Nationality law that directly...
And indirectly.
And indirectly. Okay. Directly and indirectly against women and their children. For example, fathers are allowed to... Romina? Allowed to...
Transfer.
Yes, or give their... What?
What?
Citizenship.
Citizenship, yes. Or nationality, I don't know. But that was the idea. To their children. Indirect discrimination comes from...
Gender.
Gender neutral. That's another expression. Let's see. Gender neutral laws and policies which seem to give
Same
or equal.
Same opportunity.
Because that's a contradiction, because it's discrimination, but it seems to be not to be discrimination. So they seem to give equal opportunities for men and women, but in practice, women are disadvantaged due to historical discrimination caused by the
Patriarchal system.
Patriarchal system. Okay. Patriarchal or yes, or patriarchal. I don't remember. Who can tell me the correct pronunciation? Is patriarchal or patriarchal? Angeles? Angeles is my Tommy. Tommy has the correct pronunciation. So Angeles, tell me. Do you remember?
As far as I'm concerned, it's patriarchal, but I'm going to look it up.
Patriarchal.
Because I also have...
Yes, it's patriarchal system. Okay. So that was one of the 3 exercises. Then you have video 2 and video 3. So you should complete the 3 of them, and then you let's see afterwards the forum. You should put your results on the forum. Yes. So let's go on with the analysis of the classroom. Okay.
I just checked the word. It is patriarchal. Patriarchal system.
Patriarchal, yes, patriarchal. So remember, it's patriarchal. It's difficult for us. Patriarchal. Okay. So in this week, you have 2 assignments. You have 2 forums. The first one is related to features of legal English, and the second one is the Cedaw Convention text analysis. Let's see. The first one is to go through the 3 movies or short videos and try to complete the 3 assignments. One of them you have already done. So you have already completed that. Giovanni, admit Giovanni, okay. So then you have substantive equality and the principle of state obligation. The 3 of them are very enlightening for us. They are very clear for us, I think. What do you think of the quality of the videos, the quality of explanation? Okay?
Yeah.
You think that they are meaningful at least? Okay. That's the first assignment. The second assignment, well, that's the completion of the first assignment. You should fill in the gap, and you should prepare your answer in a chart like this, chart of answers. The first one, A, B, C, like that. And then you post your reply in this forum, the first forum. Then you have the second forum. The idea is to read the document called Cedaw Convention text analysis, along with some material from the folder, and then participate in this forum, stating what is for you the most important or significant aspect of this Cedaw Convention. What is important for you from the Cedaw Convention? Perhaps for one person, one thing is important, and for other person, one different thing is important. And whether this convention would somehow have any repercussion in your life anytime, at any moment, okay? What else? That's the second forum. And well, we try to do some activities with the video. We have already done that. The principle of non-discrimination, substantive equality, and principle of state obligation, yes? So now we're going through the text, which is called text analysis of the Cedaw Convention. This convention on the elimination of all forms of discrimination against women, that's why it's called Cedaw Convention, the elimination say, of all forms, Cedaw, discrimination, the D, against women, C, against the A, women, the W, so Cedaw Convention, was adopted in 1979 by the UN General Assembly and is often described as an international Bill of Rights for Women. Bill of Rights for Women. So it goes back to 1979. I thought that it was newer, but 1979. Okay. It has some backgrounds, but some backgrounds. And so in 1946, there was a UN body was created, the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. And this commission had to monitor the situation of women and to promote their rights. And these efforts for the advancement of women have resulted in several declarations and conventions. And the most significant one is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Yes? So, in 1979, the UN's General Assembly adopted the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, and in 1981, it entered into force. You know that sometimes there's a convention and it doesn't enter into force. It depends. It depends on the nations and the states, that the states have to ratify and to say, well, I approve this convention, and after a number of ratifications, they enter into force. So they needed at least two years in order to enter into force. After the 20th country ratified it. So they needed 20 countries to ratify it in order to enter into force. If not, then the Cedaw Convention did not have any force. Yes? So in 1989, so 8 years after that, by the 10th anniversary of the convention, almost 100 nations have agreed to be bound by its provisions. By accepting this convention, the states that ratified the convention committed themselves to undertake a series of measures to end discrimination against women in all forms. The organization of the convention is 1 preamble and 30 articles. And the convention has the definition of discrimination, and it says any distinction, exclusion, or restriction made on the basis of sex, which has the effect of purpose of impairing or nullifying the recognition, enjoyment, or exercise by women, irrespective of their marital status, on a basis of equality of men and women, of human rights and fundamental freedoms in the political, economical, social, cultural, civil, and any other field. So then any kind of exclusion, restriction, and distinction. Okay. States commit themselves to undertake a series of measures. Some of the measures are here. Let's see. Who can read? Ramina, read the first one. The first part, the horizontal part.
My English is so well, so sorry.
Tell me
I want to try.
Anywhere, anytime, anyhow.
The convention provides the basis for relations, equality between women and men. Está cortado.
Now?
And men through silent women
ensuring
women's equal access to and equal opportunities in political and public life, including the right to vote and to stand for election, as well as education, health, and employment.
Yes, you know that I have written here measures, because they are the measures that the states have committed themselves to undertake. The obligation of the state is to take measures. They cannot just see the problem, they have to take measures. So legislation, measures. What else? Marcela, can you read the one at the right part?
There. State parties agree to take all appropriate measures, including legislation and temporary special measures, so that women can enjoy all their human rights and fundamental freedoms.
Okay. Angeles, the one at the left, can you see?
Yes, so the letters are quite small. I'll try.
Yes, small.
Yes, the convention is the only human rights treaty which targets culture and tradition as influential forces shaping gender roles and family relations.
Yes, because it talks about the culture and the influence of culture and religion on the customs as regards women. That's a problem. Because on one hand, you have culture and you have to respect culture, but sometimes culture is against women's rights. That's a problem.
What is target?
Tell me, which one?
Targets.
Target.
The word.
Target.
Is target.
Which target? A target is el objetivo. That's one meaning. That's a noun. Target es el objetivo. Yes? Target.
Sí.
Objetivo. But in this case, target is taken as a verb. Entonces es que le apunta a. Which target culture and tradition. You know that many times from Anglo-Saxon speakers and the language takes nouns as verbs, and sometimes they take verbs as nouns. So in this case, they took a noun, target, and they used it as a verb. Targets, culture, and tradition. Yes? Another one. Okay, excellent. National report, countries, another mandatory measures. Countries that have ratified or acceded, accession and ratification. That's one part of one of our units. In one unit, we talk about these verbs, which are part of legal English. I think that it's in this unit, but in the second week. Remember, the first week is on the content, and the second week is related to language. So I think that in the second week, we're going to talk about ratification and accession as different types of verbs. So countries that have ratified or acceded to the convention are legally bound. So they are, for them, it's mandatory. They are legally bound to put its provisions into practice. They are also committed, that's another term, to submit national reports at least every 4 years, or measures they have taken to comply with, that's another legal English, to comply with their treaty obligations. Okay, and other mandatory measures. The convention affirms women's rights to acquire, change, or retain their nationality and the nationality of their children. States parties also agree to take appropriate measures against all forms of traffic in women and exploitation of women. You know that nowadays in my province, there's a commotion because, well, that's one case. There are many cases, but in this case, 3 days ago, one little girl, one 5-year-old girl, was taken from her home, from the front part of the home. She has disappeared. She was kidnapped. And I think that there are a lot of cover from the media. And she was so little. We don't know where she is. Okay, that's women trafficking that we think. So I hope she will appear. Okay, other relevant documents from the classroom. Yes, you have the Cedaw features. The convention. This Cedaw features is one paper just to read. It has been developed by us to explain the Cedaw features precisely. This one, the Convention 190 or 190 Convention from the ILO. Luis, that's particularly meaningful for you because it is la OIT, yes? Because it relates.
Yes. It's the last international conventions.
What about Peru? Is Peru going to ratify it or not?
Not yet, but it's in this moment. It has in a period to submission that this convention.
They are discussing the possibility.
It's in a problem.
Okay.
Yes, probably in the next years.
Okay, I hope so. You know that the 190 convention from the ILO, la OIT, ILO, it is related to harassment in the two forms. Just harassment, just workforce harassment, harassment at the workplace, not sexually involved. and the other one, which is sexual harassment. The two of them are treated equally, let's say, in the Convention 190. And for Argentina, it has started to be in force and this month, because Argentina has ratified it. And apart from that, in June, because it has 2 ratifications, it comes into force. So this month, it comes into force in Argentina and for the other countries, Uruguay and Sri Lanka. The 2 of them that had ratified it before were Uruguay and Sri Lanka, and then Argentina. Okay, so la Convención 190, OIT, Convention 190. Then there's the paper related to the listening activity, and there's a long book related to women, business, and the law. That's for you just to have it. And then, for instance, the table of contents of this book is, for instance, some findings from some reports and studies, women, business, and the law, women's financial inclusion and the law, summaries of women, businesses, and the law reforms, some notes, economy tables, and well, then the acknowledgements that are not so important. So another aspect related to women, to the girl particularly, the girl rights, which is child marriage. That's another term, that's another fixed expression to say child marriage. You know that one of the papers that I uploaded to the platform was related to child marriage. Child marriage is any formal marriage or informal union, not only formal, but also informal type of union, where one or both of the parties are under 18 years of age. So it could be for women and men also. The thing is that they are minors. So each year, 12 million girls are married before the age of 18. That is 23 girls every minute. Nearly 1 girl every 2 seconds are married, and they are minors, and they're forced to have sex and everything, and children probably. So let's see. And they're not only in India or any undeveloped country. Let's see this picture. This picture was taken in New York. You know that because it belongs to a paper, an article related to New York minor marriages. So it says, child marriage is fueled. What is fueled? Who can tell me what is child marriage is fueled by gender inequality? What is fueled?
It's like used like.
What, Tatiana? Tell me. Es una expresión.
It is used like fuel, like something. Algo que quema, algo que da una energía.
Sí, pero fíjate que es metafórico. Es metafórico.
Sí, sí,
Fueled. You fuel, for instance, you fuel the fire with some petrol. Yes, with some, I don't know, naphtha. I don't know how to say that. Yes, you know, you fuel the fire with carbon, with some logs to have more fire. Yes. So fuel es alentar, generar más. Yes, you tell me, Angeles. Tell me in English, please.
No, I was saying that this is in Spanish would be impulsar.
Impulsar.
Es impulsado por, right.
Generado e impulsado. Yes. So, and that's very nice expression to use and to sound more native, like as I say, so, because you never say in a common language it's fueled by, but whenever you have to prepare a speech, you may instill there the fueled by, and you will sound more native like. So child marriage is fueled by gender inequality, poverty, traditions, and insecurity. Yes, insecurity, because sometimes women are with no support. So probably, I don't know, a mother is going to fuel the possibility of marrying her daughter to have one husband to support them, one husband or the daughter. So insecurity, child marriage violates girls' rights to health, education, opportunity, education mostly. It exposes girls to violence throughout their lives and traps them in a cycle of poverty, okay? And globally, the rates of child marriage are slowly declining, but progress isn't happening fast enough. More than 650 million women and over 150 million men, also men, so little boys, already suffer the consequences of child marriage. Because remember that it's not only marriage itself, or it comprises also any kind of union. So sometimes they could take a little boy and match the boy with an old man, for instance, and he will be abused. So child marriage. And another thing is that if current trends on child marriage continue, 150 million more girls will be married in childhood by 2030, with devastating consequences from the whole world, not only for them, but also for the whole world. What used to be a taboo issue is now on the global, regional, and national agenda. So in this web page, it talks about New York child marriage. Let's see if I can put it on. Let's see. You know, in Concaran, I don't have I don't have internet. It's terrible, but here I'm in San Luis again. So it says New York. Can you see the web page?
Yes.
Okay. It says New York has finally outlawed child marriage. And when did it happen? When did it happen? I don't know the time for that. June 2017. In 2017, in New York, they have banned child marriage. So it says the state of New York officially outlawed child marriage today, the result of a years-long campaign to make it illegal for people under the age of 18 to be married. Then you may read the page, which is quoted as a site in the classroom. Yes. So we go on now, and okay, it's quite interesting, don't you think so? Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Then, yes. Yes. The thing is that it's not only child marriage, because for instance, in Argentina, the age is 18. And I think that if you are 16, you may be allowed by your parents. And the thing is that every time we can be sure that it's not good for them. They can wait at least 2 years more, and then they can decide. But the thing is that it is not only to get married, it's also to be matched with a person that is going to abuse you. That's the point. The point is not only to be married and to have children. The thing is that you are going to be forced to have sex with the person, and you are not mature enough to decide that. Even though you may feel some love for them, for this person, but you are very little to do that. Okay. Another aspect, workplace discrimination. We have been talking about that as regards the 190 ILO Convention, preventing discrimination in the workplace. You know that discrimination occurs mostly as regards women, but they can occur also as regards men and as regards some minorities, such as gay people or trans people So they are subject to discrimination. Discrimination is treating or proposing to treat someone unfavorably because of a personal characteristic protected by the law. This includes bullying someone. You know, that is bullying someone. They say bullying someone. And in Argentina, we tend to say hacerle mobbing. You know? Mobbing. Mob, por la patota, mob. Bueno, y después está que en Argentina, la gente que no sabe mucho inglés, encima lee mobbing y dice moving. Está todo mal, digamos. No coincide nada con nada, porque no es moving, porque no es mover una persona de un lado a otro, sería mobbing, pero tampoco es mobbing porque el original, ellos no hablan de mobbing, ellos hablan de harassment o bullying. Ellos nunca dicen mobbing. Esa es la paradoja. Bueno. This includes bullying someone because of a protected characteristic. Employers can be held legally responsible for acts of discrimination and sexual harassment. So the keywords here are discrimination and sexual harassment that occur at work or are connected to the workplace. For instance, there are a lot of discrimination and sexual harassment through the media, through the net, any kind of net, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and they are not at the workplace necessarily, and they are harassing them through the knowledge provided by the workplace, because they are companion, they are mates at the workplace, and they bully them through Facebook, through Twitter, and that's a kind of harassment also. Having a strong and unambiguous equal opportunity policy is a powerful tool for preventing discrimination and sexual harassment in the workplace. In the workplace, yes? I'm trying to get the expressions. Okay, why is an equal opportunity policy so, because it talks about, this is taken from an article, and the target of the article were the companies, and the article was provided by I don't know, another company which assessed other companies, or probably from governmental institution, and they tackle the companies, and they try the companies to create a reglamento, an organization, some set of rules with some policies. They say that you have to have some policies clearly stated in a reglamento, for instance. So why is an equal opportunity policy so important? An effective equal opportunity policy will set out in clear and simple terms what is and isn't acceptable workplace behavior. This helps minimize confusion and uncertainty among staff and managers, and provides a solid foundation of building a safe, productive, and respectful working environment. An equal opportunity policy all the time emphasizing policy, the idea of policy. An equal opportunity policy that helps staff understand their rights and responsibilities can significantly reduce the risk of an employer's liability. That's another legal term. You have to try to remember the terms, because next week we are going to go through these legal terms. Liability for acts of discrimination and sexual harassment in the workplace. Yes? So more about equal opportunity in the workplace. You are going to read all of them in the platform, in the classroom. Yes? And Luis, this is for you. Violence and Harassment, ILO Convention, 2019, number 190. Yes. I added this today, or yesterday, when I prepared this one, because last year we didn't have this, so I added this yesterday. So here we read the I-190 Convention. You will find it uploaded, or you may find it here. Let's see. for instance. This is the official webpage from the ILO Convention, International Labour Organization. This webpage is excellent because it's in different languages, in Spanish, in French, and in English, and I don't know, many languages. I know, and Arab there, Spanish, French, okay, and English. So there you have the 119 Convention, and it is related to harassment. Then you can download it in PDF format, but I have uploaded it in the classroom, yes. The violence and harassment recommendation and the ILO Convention. Okay, so that's it, this part. Let's see again. And I have uploaded the picture there. Well, we have gone through all my class. We may share the classroom with Daniela, because she's going to explain another legal English feature there. But I cannot tell you how. How can we go there? A ver, vamos a ver. O le puedo decir a Daniela que venga. Let's see. Sorry. What's your opinion on all these matters, please? Can you tell me? Angelis, Laura, you were so interested in the criminal matters. Can you tell me something?
Yes, but I think it's a lot to read and to understand.
Okay, well,
it's too much information.
Patience with you and with us. Because in fact, at first it was only Cedaw Convention. Then I found so many material. The idea is that I give you the material and you go through
I know.
Whenever and however you may. I know that we are so. Ella dice que está haciendo un listening. Está difícil lo de ella. Está haciendo un listening. Okay, Tatiana, what is your opinion as regards this material?
Interesting. Me gustaría decir en español, porque me empiezo
te pone nerviosa.
Me ponerse nerviosa y olvido palabras. En realidad es un problema amplio, muy grave, especialmente en Rusia, por ejemplo, porque hablo de Rusia.
¿Qué pasa en Rusia? Decinos qué pasa.
Hay regiones en Rusia donde esos problemas son especialmente agudas. Por ejemplo, hay república que se llama Chechenia, donde hay presidente aparte de su propio presidente y sus leyes totalmente diferentes de todo el mundo. Digamos, nadie puede intervenir y defender a alguien. Probablemente ustedes escucharon un montón de noticias de violaciones de
derechos humanos,
derechos de mujer.
¿Qué pasa con las mujeres? ¿Qué pasa con las mujeres en Chechenia?
Ese child marriage. También mujeres no pueden quejarse de maltrato. Fue varias situaciones cuando mujeres quejaban y los amenazaron de muerte, algunos estaban muertos. Luego, varios periodistas que se metían para investigar terminaban muertos. Sí, porque ahí es terrible, es un lugar donde no existe ley. Existe cierta tradición musulmana, pero esa tradición no es tan musulmana como una dictadura de Ramzan Kadyrov que crea su propia cultura, como si fueran musulmanas, pero en su interpretación como le gusta. Hay un montón de ejemplos. También maltrato de mujeres. Hablando de cultura, digamos, existe pseudoculturas. Digamos, incluso algunas mujeres creen, rusas, que si marido me pega, me ama.
Claro.
Entonces, es terrible y combatir violación familiar es muy complicado, incluso por la mentalidad. Bueno, es un tema amplio y muchas cosas, sí, esas que mencionamos hoy, un montón para leer, comprender.
Bueno, después van a ver los otros dos videos, también son muy interesantes y buenos también para afinar el oído y también usar inglés y a la vez un contenido, porque una unidad mejor para Saben que el primer libro que logré leer en mi vida en inglés, que fue en el año 2001, era porque era algo, yo nunca lograba terminar un libro, y uno termina el libro o sigue leyendo un libro cuando le interesa el contenido. Si vos vas a leer un tema que nada que ver, no lo vas a leer, digamos, porque no te interesa. Vos tenés que leer algo que te interese para que lo termines de leer. Y eso fue lo que hice primero, que fue el libro que se llama The Farm, de John Grisham. Fue el primer libro que logré leer, que era todo sobre un estudio jurídico, ¿no? The Farm. Que se los voy a conseguir y se los voy a mandar. The Farm, porque está en internet. Está un poquito fuera de foco ya, porque un montón de cosas que dice ya quedaron fuera de foco con tanto internet y tanta cosa. Pero The Farm de John Grisham y un montón de libros de John Grisham son todos relativos, me sale related, son todos relativos a inglés jurídico. Tiene muchísimas cosas de inglés jurídico, los libros de John Grisham, ¿viste? Ok, y Romina, what's your opinion as regards all the material that we have read today?
Lo puedo decir en español, yo
Yes,
también, porque ya me
Yes, you may.
es demasiado, como dijo la compañera. No, que realmente es muy interesante y que hay muchas otras cosas que quizá además del matrimonio de las mujeres niñas, en realidad la explotación de los chicos también, la explotación infantil.
Sí,
no sé,
sí,
yo de repente estoy en una ciudad que es provincia de Buenos Aires
sí.
y de repente estoy un poco más alejada de lo que es Capital Federal o Buenos Aires, y si uno tiene la oportunidad de viajar a Buenos Aires realmente te ves cosas que no puedes creer, los chicos trabajando, maltratados para que hagan ciertas actividades, aberrante, o sea,
Aberrante.
totalmente aberrante.
Tenemos acá de visita, we have the visit of Griselda, Karen, María, and what else? Hablen, ¿qué pasó? Ahí está, there you are. Okay, you know, Karen, Griselda, María, we have been talking about the Cedaw Convention, you know, la Convención de los Derechos de la Mujer, the Cedaw Convention, and women's rights. What are your experiences as lawyers as regards women's rights? Karen, for instance. Karen, have you got any microphone? No? No microphone. Okay. Okay, Griselda, your turn. Sorry, Karen.
I don't like to take cases with violence, but in family law it's usual right now that you have a divorce and it is related with another case of violence. It is very common, like Romina says here. I am from Zona Sur, Wilde, Avellaneda. I don't know where you live, Romina, but yes, it is usual to see kids working on the street, and it's common.
Okay. What about you, Maria?
Give my opinion.
Yes, please tell us in Spanish or in English.
I tried in English.
Okay.
About the material, I think it's very interesting. I have a lot of material, but that time is short.
Yes.
But in Peru, we have a lot of problems, but our legislation is a lot of. The problem is in the reality.
The facto and the jure.
In the fact is
yes.
Because we have law to protect women, for example, equal remuneration for equal work.
Yes.
But when we show the reality,
Yes.
the fact that we have inequality, no? This is the problem, the principal problem
Yes,
here.
yes. Why are the reasons why they occur? What happens in the situations, the factual situations, do you think? We cannot explain that. The patriarchal system, probably.
Traditions.
I think we don't have the same opportunities.
Yes.
Yes, it's like Maria says. Can you listen me now?
Ah, Karen, tell us, Karen.
Yes.
Yes.
Karen is back.
No, it's like Maria says, we don't have the same opportunities. I'll have to work harder than men.
Why? You know that nowadays there's an institution that is studied in gender studies, and now a field in sociology and in the jurisprudence, in the study of law. Gender studies son transversales. They go through history and law and everything. Gender studies, and in gender studies there's one institution that is called in Spanish las obligaciones de cuidado, care obligations, care needs, and due to the obligaciones de cuidado or care obligations, they tend to be, the care obligations tend to be applied to women only. So nowadays, these obligaciones de cuidado are being subject to studies, particular studies, and they say that obligaciones de cuidado have to be taken by women and men. So that's one complete field, the obligaciones de cuidado. You have to go through this concept, on the internet, and you will see that obligaciones de cuidado, so care needs.
About that sailing, and that's the thing.
What you say?
With Anita. Last year we talked about glass ceiling and
the glass ceiling. Yes, glass ceiling. Yes.
Glass ceiling and
glass ceiling is one of the concepts that you are working and you cannot go through the glass ceiling, and probably a man can go through the glass ceiling and you cannot. Yes, the glass ceiling. That's a concept, and it's invisible ceiling that you cannot go through. Yes, tell me, Griselda.
I think the situation, our situation is similar to Peru, because we have a lot of gender politics and law to apply, but it is the same, because in the court they give you a panic button, but maybe the men go and take away or hurt the person, and the system doesn't work.
Yes, that's it. Or another way of discriminating women is the way they ask you whether you are going to marry or to have children whenever you apply for a job.
Yeah.
And that's another way to discriminate you also, because that's your right to marry or to have your children. And you know that in Argentina, you have some protections for this kind of discrimination, but whenever you have entered the job. But if you are outside the job and you are asking for a job, there's no law. You have to provide a lot of evidence to submit a case of discrimination whenever you try to apply for a job and you are discriminated, because there's a lot of protection whenever you have entered the job. But if you are outside the job and you are trying to enter the job and you're discriminated, well, unless you have a hidden camera or something, you cannot prove that. Yes, okay. What about Switzerland, Fabrizio?
Well, listening about what you recently said, that they ask you about like when are you planning having kids or making a family.
Yes.
It's something that happens here in job interviews, and also it's a question that I receive in job interviews, and I am a man. And I think that in certain point that it's quite good to be asked, because all the private firms, they want to make like a plan in the future. And if you have like your private job, you need to know your circumstances, and as you are in your own right to make your family, he has or she has the right to make like or organize the situation in order to build like the company, the firm, or the business.
Yes, I
So
understand.
I strongly believe that there are certain cases that maybe the politicians are building concepts or law faster than they are building in the reality.
Yes.
So then you find like there is like, Griselda said, like you receive a button, but the button doesn't work, or you have like certain order from the judge, but there is no policeman, so you cannot make it as an obligation.
Enforce
So,
it. The term is to enforce it. To enforce
it, yeah.
Yeah.
So here the situation it's I cannot be sure about how it's in the private area, in the public spaces. As I said before, kind of 65% of the people that works in the parliament or the government are women. And nowadays here in Switzerland, well, we have 7 presidents. It's quite weird, but 3 of them are women.
So you have 7 presidents. You have 7 presidents.
Yeah, it's
so strange.
Yeah, we every 5 or 6 years we vote just for the parliament, like our deputies.
What do you say?
Sorry?
From where is he?
He's talking from Switzerland.
Okay.
Okay. What else, Fabrizio? Please. Sorry.
No, and then the parliamentary people, they vote for 7 presidents that they are like the presidents, and they divide between themselves the different ministries, and once at a time, just one person of these 7 people is like the face of the presidents. So it's just the guy that you see in the picture.
Okay. So strange.
But
strange.
Yeah,
Yes.
but every decision is making between 7 people.
All of them.
So advanced.
Yes.
Yes, but it's really difficult. It's a system that it's really difficult to make it work. It's really expensive. It makes a lot of problems because, for example, between them, in this time of the corona, they don't agree because these 7 people are from different parties.
Yes.
They are from at this time 4 different parties. So imagine in Argentina having like peronistas, radicales, izquierda y extrema derecha, all at the same time,
in the same
making a government,
administrative government.
Yeah. So, but just one is for the picture. The last year was a woman, Simonetta Sommaruga, and this year is a Bulgai Parliament, and he's a man.
Okay.
But in the public spaces, the women have a lot of rights. They have like a really respect area to move.
Okay. Okay, so strange and developed, a developed country. Okay, and it
Yeah,
works,
it's
and it works for them,
It's
and it
different.
works.
It is not developed.
It's not developed, you say.
It's different.
Different.
It's different.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, I don't know, but it's 7:44, and we have reached our end of our class. Anyone wants to say something related to the class, or the lesson, or the classroom, or anything? Please tell me. Maria, you have not talked today.
No, I was just to say that I have a neighbor from hell.
Ah, you have a neighbor from hell. Yes, I can.
Neighbor from hell.
I can listen to the neighbor.
Está taladrando.
Yes, it's drilling your wall. The neighbor from hell. Anyone else? Anyone else? No? Tell us.
Yo también, mudándome de acá, me salvé de una vecina de... from
Your neighbor from hell, okay.
Neighbor, mujer, woman.
Well,
neighbor.
that's a neighbor also. Neighbor from
Also.
hell. The neighbor from hell. Okay, so les pido que miren bien el aula, vean las dos actividades que tienen del foro, porque tienen que terminar estas actividades para que la semana que viene podamos hacer la segunda parte, que es la parte lingüística. Y podemos llevar a cabo, en ese análisis lingüístico vamos a analizar algunas cosas de este material. Vieron que una de las convenciones, me parece que la Cedaw, tenía bastante así, me encanta cuando tiene, porque a veces no le encuentro mucho de inglés legal, le encuentro que es legal, pero no así, bien features para destacar, para analizar, para ver cómo se conjugan y se colocan. Bueno, pero acá parece que encontré varios, así que ese va a ser la segunda parte que viene la semana que viene, ¿eh? Así que les quedan los dos forums para hacer y completar esos listening activity con los otros dos videos que les faltan. Uno ya lo hicieron, así que les faltan dos. ¿Ok? Bueno, gracias por estar. Gracias Luis, gracias Fabricio, que miren, somos internacionales. Y Tatiana, que es rusa, pero está en Buenos Aires, es casi internacional también. Bueno, Marcela, Silvana, María, gracias por estar, las chicas del seminario 2 y 3, Laura, que nos hizo el honor hoy, y Ángeles, que nos da su aspecto foniátrico tan bueno. Me encanta, ¿saben que en el otro curso del seminario lo tenemos a Tomás, entonces cualquier cosa que no nos sale bien la pronunciación, le preguntamos a Tomás, que le sale bárbaro. Romina, Silvana, muchas gracias.
¿Cómo se logra eso? ¡Qué bien!
Bueno, yo tenía una compañera que decía que era todo cuestión de actitud. Es verdad, la actitud hace mucho. La actitud, vos decidís que vas a hablar bien y chau.
Yo le pongo actitud,
Vos le ponés actitud, porque dicen que en realidad el tema de los acentos nuestros tiene mucho que ver, está enraizado en nuestro subconsciente, en nuestra idea de nacionalidad, de nuestra identidad, qué sé yo. La cuestión es que Tomás adoptó esa actitud y bueno, le da, le da para ser así.
Bueno, es como cuando escuchás a un hindú hablando inglés, te das cuenta al toque.
Sí, no, las actitudes
no es igual.
Sí,
no,
se nota la
identidad está muy enraizada.
Nacionalidad,
Está muy enraizada, sí. Ok, nos vemos entonces la semana que viene. Muchas gracias por estar. Les deseo mucha suerte esta semana y háganme las actividades, por favor. No me abandonen esas actividades. Gracias.
Gracias, Adela.
Gracias a ustedes.
Paciencia.
Gracias a ustedes.
Bye.